Welcome in tonight's programme, Shefali with all the weather details.
Yes, it's not the first time we've been blown away by the weather, but are those winds going to create calamity or calm this week? I'll have more for you later.
Now, you wouldn't normally put smoke alarms and the Sugababes in the same sentence, would you? But here we go. A video from Staffordshire Fire Service encouraging us all to fit and test our household smoke alarms has become an unlikely internet sensation.
Oh yes, it features fire crews singing the Sugababes hit Push the Button. Since its launch, it's gone viral and has been seen by more than 30,000 people online. Sarah Falkland has the details.
It's the Sugababes' most successful hit to date. But it's buttons of a different kind in this. Staffordshire Fire Service's reworked version of the song urging people to test their smoke alarms.
The statistics tell us that 9 out of 10 people in Staffordshire have a smoke alarm. Unfortunately, 7 out of those 10 don't test them.
7 out of 10? We went to Stafford, and this was the first door we randomly knocked on.
Oh, no, I don't think it works.
And that's worrying.
It's a frightening statistic, but if you don't have a smoke alarm fitted in your house, you're twice as likely to die in the event of a fire.
A fireman who wants to remain anonymous came up with the idea for the video. One of the marketing girls, who's a singer in her spare time, is the voice on it. She also co-wrote and filmed it. Julie from HR and Jamie from the training department are among the cast.
It's been absolutely amazing.
Really
really taken off.
And it's especially great that this week we're launching our iPhone app and our Android app as well.
Any way to grab people's attention and actually get a serious message across is really, really important.
So, did it grab people's attention in stone?
It's a reminder, isn't it? It's really, I think it's fantastic, yeah.
I just wonder whether the message is perhaps a bit too, sort of jokey.
Is it smoke alarms? Yeah, but I wouldn't have known if you hadn't told me.
Push the button and check it bleeps. Even if just a handful of people remember after watching this, the fire service say it will have been worthwhile. Sarah Falkland, BBC Midlands Today in Staffordshire.
Well, I know mine's working. It goes off every time I cook something.
Does it?
Yeah, I have to go and wave at it madly with a tea
I didn't know they
towel.
had an elephant in the fire brigade. But,
No, I know, obviously doing a good job.
move on, don't they?
Let's move on, shall we? Now, when it comes to hockey, the Midlands has a proud tradition of success at the Olympics, and today 2 of our medallists came face to face in the potteries.
Imran Shawani from Staffordshire and Jane Sixsmith from Sutton Coldfield were hoping to inspire more youngsters to play the game, and they signed up a Premier League footballer as well. Ian Winter reports.
It's not until Boxing Day that Stoke City meet Aston Villa in the Premier League, but today the youngsters came face to face on the hockey pitch.
So we all up for it? Yeah.
Villa fan Jane Sixsmith passed on a few tips from her days as an Olympic bronze medalist in Barcelona, whilst the Stoke City striker Cameron Jerome was keen to learn more about the finer points of the game. Every footballer is used to being given a bit of stick, and today was no exception.
When was the last time you picked up a hockey stick then?
No, not since I was their age, really. I mean, not since my school days, but it's nice. It's good fun to come out here and to get involved with the kids and to be a part of it, really.
Today's event was aimed at inspiring more youngsters to play hockey, and there was plenty of enthusiasm to have a go. Watching from the sidelines, I met up again with Imran Shawani, 23 years after he scored 2 goals to beat Germany in the final to win the Olympic gold medal.
What's your abiding memory of Seoul 1988?
I think it has to be standing on the rostrum, singing the national anthem. Proud to be English, proud to be British. It was just an awesome thing. We have chances in both, men and women, to get medals, hopefully gold. And I think with the crowd, home nation supporting them, I think that gives an extra player on the pitch, really, doesn't it?
The last sort of 3 or 4 years, certainly with the women, we've been achieving bronze medals on a regular basis, so hopefully we can do that at the Olympics or maybe upgrade it.
Sadly, Cameron's left it too late to make the GB hockey team for London 2012, but he will be in the Potters squad on Saturday when he'd love to bury a chance like this against Fulham. Ian Winter, BBC Midlands Today, Stoke-on-Trent.
Isn't it great fun?
Yeah, now before Shefali joins us, let me just tell you that workmen have removed a weather vane from the top of a spire at Christchurch in Coventry. It was left at a precarious angle after being blown loose by high winds.
Yeah, part of the city centre had to be closed and specialist equipment was needed to bring it down. Well, Joan Cummins joins us now from our Coventry studio. So exactly what happened, Joan?
Well, basically the warning went up yesterday that the weather vane on top of the spire was, as you say, dangling precariously off the top. Now, they cordoned off the area and around 500 people were evacuated from nearby buildings. And Nigel Clues from the City Council told me they had to take every precaution.
Clearly there was a danger until we had time to actually have a look at it and assess what that was, and therefore we had to take necessary precautions to basically ensure public safety. So there was a danger it would fall, however it was held on by security devices.
So how do they sort it out, Joan?
Well, they called for reinforcements. Basically, a massive cherry picker trundled its way into position today. A steeplejack went up, and part of the fears were that this weather vane on the top could have weighed, they thought, up to half a tonne. By the end, when they got up there, it was actually hollow, and the steeplejacks managed to remove it without any incident at all. That's now been taken away. It will be repaired, restored, and then put back on its rightful place on top of the steeple.
What an incredible story.
Yeah, thanks, Joan. Anyway, have we got any more of those high winds to come?
Yeah, it looked in a sad condition, didn't it? Yes. I blame yesterday's winds, actually, because people spoke of it being blowy today, but looking at the recordings, there was nothing remotely exceptional about the wind speeds, probably highs of around 15 to 20 miles per hour at best. But bit by bit, you'll find that those winds are going to be calming down through the week, so tomorrow it will be calmer, and you'll start to notice the change through tonight as those winds gradually ease. But as far as the rain goes, you can see that strip across the north of the country. It appears as though it's pinned down there because it hasn't moved much since yesterday, and there are some heavier bursts developing in that. They may just fringe along the north of the region, but I don't think it's going to be particularly heavy in the north tonight, and elsewhere it's looking largely dry. A lot of cloud though, and it's quite warm as well, temperatures dropping to a minimum of 14 Celsius. Finally then, tomorrow that rain does start to sink southwards, but again it's quite wishy-washy. Only 2 hours ago it was showing some potential for being quite heavy in the northwest and the east, and maybe we may still get that, but it is quite patchy through the day at the moment, and it's going to be quite cloudy as well. The cloud, however, is not responsible for the temperatures, it's the wind direction. So even though it's calmer tomorrow, it's that westerly direction that take temperatures up to about 17 to 18 Celsius, and that's above average for the time of year for about by a few degrees. We normally expect about 12 or 13 at this time of year, so 18 is very good indeed. But by tomorrow night, still some dribs and drabs of rain around. They'll die out, but from Thursday onwards, it's looking drier due to high pressure.
Thanks, Shefali.
Thanks, Shefali. A look at tonight's main headlines. The biggest fall in household incomes for more than 35 years. That's the latest forecast in a new report.
And Downing Street gets the message. 100,000 people say no to high-speed rail.
Back now to that story of the Telford Junior Football League, which has been altering the results of matches to spare the blushes of young players who suffered a heavy defeat. Loads of comments on Facebook.
Yeah, Martin Cook says, so much for teaching the kids that there are winners and losers in real life. What an absolute load of rubbish, he says.
Sean Rook says, we try to raise our children to tell the truth. What sort of example is this setting?
But Wayne Darren Walls says it shouldn't matter what the score is at that age. Surely the children should be taught how to just enjoy playing.
Jane Brooks has been on, says, this is the nanny state gone mad. It's not the result that matters. It's teaching kids how to deal with it. If they lose, turn negatives into positives.
Harps Rehouse says, even if they do make this change, the children still know when they've lost the match or drawn. So, therefore, the change makes no difference and it'll just confuse them even more.
I think we've got time for just one more from Maureen Davis from Coventry. Hello, Maureen. She rang to say if they're consistently scoring low, then they'll try harder, won't they?
Interesting comments. Thanks very much
indeed
for all of them.
A real range of interest. Anyway, that's all from us this evening. Thanks very much.
Bye-bye.